You're watching the Original Music Atlanta podcast.
Hey, welcome. Here we are back to the Original Music Atlanta podcast. This is episode 4. We're going to have Neil Blade with the Neil Blade Project on. How you doing, Neil?
Good, man. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing
Hey,
good,
brother.
So we wanted to have you on. We know you're playing the showcase on March 12th. It looks like your band, your project goes on at 9:50 p.m. On the 12th. It looks like you guys are going to be right before my band, so we're going to definitely run into each other. So welcome to the show, and my name is Raymond Hems. This is Rick Gathman, and we're just going to kind of talk through this and talk to you about the original music scene here in Atlanta, and kind of go from there. How you been?
I can't complain. It's been working and trying to get these songs ready.
Nice. How many people are in the band?
So it's a 4-piece.
Nice.
Who do you got playing? Obviously local guys, but not obviously, I guess. But who you got?
So on drums, I've got Kerry Denton, who plays with me in Shyanne as well.
Right.
On bass, we've got Jake Kitchen, and on guitar, we've got Tony Baker.
Yeah, 2 good guys. I played with both of them. I was in Rock Force with both of those guys.
Kind of like a Atlanta cover band all-star lineup.
Nice. So it's a cover band though, playing an original shows. So let's talk a little bit about that. So obviously you're doing covers around town, and it seems like that's kind of what we have to do to make some money as a musician these days. If you want to make any money and get any gigs, you kind of have to go down that road. But it sounds like you still have the itch to play some original music.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I'm 32 now. When I was a teenager, from like 17 to about 20, I only played original music. Back then I was playing like power and thrash metal. And it was fun. And then I got introduced to the cover band scene and started, getting handfuls of cash at the end of the night. I was like, oh, this is cool. So I actually haven't played an original song on stage in over 10 years now.
Wow.
So I'm ready to get back into it. I've been working on these songs for a few years now, and I've got a full album together and got a group of guys to learn my stuff and just ready to get out there.
So are those, is Jake and Tony, are those going to be your go-to guys, and Kerry?
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, this is our first gig, so it's kind of a trial for everybody.
See what
and
happens.
it's, as long as everybody's, happy with it and wants to move forward, then
Run the flag up the pole and see who salutes. Well, it's good. So how would you describe the music? If you were to say, somebody asked you what kind of music is it, where would you go?
Always
so
the
when
hardest
I write
question.
a song,
Always the hardest
All right.
question.
So I'm gonna go with 2 extremes. Like
Nice.
when I write a song, I want it to be somewhere in between Huey Lewis and Pantera.
Ah, okay.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
yeah.
And you know who's in between there is Kenny Wayne Shepherd, I think.
Yeah.
Which, in what I was listening to, which is really good, by the way.
Yeah,
What
we
was the name of that
listened.
song?
Yeah, Ruin My Day.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, great song. I kind of, for some reason, that vibe just, threw it into my, that's what got thrown into my head for a second. But I toured with a band called the Kelly Ritchie Band for a few years, and it was a blues rock trio, and that's just kind of how it felt to me, but a little heavier, obviously. You guys are.
Yeah.
But I like that.
try
That's good. You play anywhere with that mindset,
It's very guitar oriented with big hooks.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going. And then I love to put like a breakdown in there.
Yeah.
Something kind of Pantera influenced.
Yeah.
Because it's just fun to do.
It's a tasty tune for sure. No,
Yeah.
very good.
Now you said guitar oriented, but what I heard was not overly thrashed out guitars at all. I heard it sounded like a Strat on the intro, nice, almost like he was saying not Kenny Wayne, but a Texas blues tone on the intro, and that got
that one. Yeah, that one's actually so I pretty much all my recordings except for like one or two songs are done on a Les Paul with one humbucker,
Nice.
and that was just it's got a coil split on it.
Okay, there it
So
is.
yeah, that's what gave it that twangy sound. But yeah, I'm a very simple guy as far as my tone goes.
Yeah. No, is that obviously sounded like it was straight into an amp of a Marshall or some sort of high gain controlled
Yeah,
high
yeah.
gain.
So all my recordings, I use the Line 6, the HX plug-in, the Helix software,
Right.
and it's all direct into the computer. And
Yeah. That hey,
but
I
yeah,
do the same
I
thing.
usually I use Marshall uh, emulators,
Yeah. Yeah. Which DAW are you using?
Reaper.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, all of that
Imagine
works.
that.
Yeah.
Well, saying that when you first started out, that you listened to the heavier stuff. What was the name of your first band?
So that first band, my very first band,
Yeah. That one.
uh, I don't even remember the name of. That was when I was like 14, and I got kicked out of it because I sucked. Um, and that next
You
summer,
stuck that one behind you, huh?
I was like, okay, I'm gonna not suck, and I just kind of dug in. But then after that, the first band that I took seriously, it was called Mortal Enticement, and then it got turned into Eternal Hour. And then after that, I joined another kind of established band in the area called Eclipse by Sanity. We did some cool stuff, played some big
So
shows. We did.
how was the ending of the first band? What happened?
Yeah. One of the questions we have is, what is your worst band breakup?
Yeah, and that second band,
Uh,
maybe it sounds to me like it was your first one, but it
Yeah. It
may
might
not have
be.
been.
yeah, I mean, I guess that was it. Yeah, just they literally
You suck.
they
Get
found
out.
they found a better guitar player
Oh.
and had him call me and fire me.
Hey, sounds very familiar, but I'm not going to tell you
Yeah.
that story
Yeah.
just a second.
Hey, that happens. This for sure. That's funny. Uh, well, uh, so it sounds like all these bands are. Did you grow up here in Atlanta? Are you? Have you been playing
Yeah,
around Atlanta all this time?
I grew up in Paulding County, so just about 45 minutes north of Atlanta.
Okay, so
Um,
north
and we
side,
would do we would play the Masquerade pretty regularly and stuff like that.
the
But
old Masquerade, right?
yeah, the old Masquerade,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice. And so that's about a quarter tank of gas
Yeah.
each direction to get to that gig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's what people don't really realize is that we are crazy enough as musicians to I mean drive 2 hours to go. What's that joke, that meme? I've seen that meme for years. It's like a musician will put $5,000 worth of equipment in a $500 car.
Honda Accord.
Yeah, to go make $100.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, that's kind of
Still true.
yes, it is. So
We get paid in attention.
yeah, and well, that's the thing. Is you know what? I've always said this too. Is like, if there's a good crowd there, I don't care if I get paid. If there's a crowd and we're banging, having fun, you know.
Well, a good buddy of mine has always told me it's not, us musicians don't get paid to be on stage. To be on stage, we get paid to load in, load out, set up, sound check, all the stuff that's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely being on stage is, who wouldn't do that and get that feeling and the buzz from a good crowd? There's nothing better.
So we were talking about recording. When you record, what's your process? Are you trying to capture, a couple of guys live in a room? Or are you putting scratch tracks down and putting pieces together? How do you typically record?
It's all me.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah. So yeah, I program all the drums, note for note, and then I usually when I'm writing a song, I kind of start with like guitar or maybe a vocal melody, and just kind of use the creative process to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until it kind of evolves into a song. Then, like I said, I program all the drums, play all the bass, play all the guitar parts, and then layer up about 24 layers of vocals.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, if you have that many ideas and doing harmonies and that kind of stuff, it sounded good, man.
Oh,
Like
it sounds
I said,
great.
Yeah, should we listen to a track?
Thanks.
Yeah,
All right,
I think we should.
We're gonna listen to "Ruin My Day" by Neil Blade.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning. My alarm goes off. While out of bed and I get dressed, still hurting from the day before. I ain't got time for breakfast. I ain't got time for this. 'Cause I'm running late and when I get to work, my boss is gonna throw a fit. Fuck this, I'm getting out of here. You're gonna treat me like that, am I making myself clear? Fuck you, I'm gonna hit the road and do whatever I want. This shit is getting old. But now I'm happy to say, finally walking away. Not gonna let you ruin my day. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I went wrong. I'm just spinning my wheels all day. I need something to come along. Can't take this any longer. Stuck against this wall. Punch in, punch out. I wanna scream and shout. I've reached my final straw. Fuck this, I'm getting out of here. Ain't gonna treat me like that, am I making myself clear? Fuck you, I'm gonna hit the road and do whatever I want. This shit is getting old. Now I'm happy to say, finally walking away. Not gonna let you ruin my day.
Yeah, man, that's sweet.
It's banging.
Yeah, that's really banging. This is the first time I listened to it with the in-ears in, and if that's what you're getting recording at home, you're gonna be doing fine there.
I'm in this
Yeah,
the
and then-
smoking solo. I mean,
So you're playing all guitars?
Yeah.
Fuck this, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, man.
Treat me like
Hey,
that, am I
ladies and gentlemen, kids, young bands, and if you're in a young band and you're just getting started, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be working on your songwriting craft. I mean, that's great form, great song structure, but the recording, the drums.
yeah.
I'm not sure what you were using.
I was just getting ready to say. You say you programmed those yourself, right?
Say it again. You're kind of breaking up. Say it again.
You said you programmed those drums yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the drums sound massive.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah, they really sound good.
Thanks.
You know what I like about that song is that it breathes. But it's still like heavy and just chunky and ballsy. It's just like it's nice flow, good. Just everything about that song
Yeah.
I like. I was trying to find something I didn't like about it and I couldn't find it.
Well, thanks. That's kind of my like working man's anthem song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's working that 9 to 5 that we really, as artists, don't want to be working.
Nah. It's too bad in the way it goes.
Yeah. So other than the and hey, ladies and gentlemen, you can check this out March 12th at 10 High in Virginia Highlands. Neil goes on at 9:50 p.m. and hey, it's gonna be a good show. One of the things that it just hit me is it had a I don't know if this is I had like when Vince Neil from Motley
Oh,
Crue.
yeah.
That when he was young and had that voice, that's
Yeah.
how that stuff sounded to me. Sounded great.
So I used to sing with a Motley Crue tribute band,
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
and that's partially where the Neil Blade name came from. I first used that as like a stage name for that band, and then I just started using it to release my original music under.
Yeah.
well, it's a cool name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, thanks.
way cooler than mine.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Hey, when you guys are playing live, what's everybody in the band's preferred live gear? Are you using live amps, using modelers, in-ears, no in-ears? How are you going?
Yeah, so for this, typically with the covers, when I'm doing 2 hours plus a night, I'm definitely using in-ears with my own in-ear rig where I can dial everything in and be comfortable. For this, 30-minute set, kind of dumbing it down a little bit. Just going to use stage monitors, and the last
Right.
couple of years, I've been using a Boss Katana, just
Oh,
the little
yeah.
combo, and throwing a mic on it, and it sounds incredible. Like
Yeah.
it's stupid good for what you're paying for it. I think Tony's using the fractal stuff still.
Yeah, he doesn't
Um,
carry anything, basically. I don't
Yeah.
think, really.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
this,
he's just using that pedal board.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Um,
That's how he is. But he's got great tone.
Jake.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jake might be bringing a small combo, but I don't think he's doing anything crazy. He's got a pedal board with quite a few things on it, but
Yeah, I think they told us bring your head. They've got a cabinet there, so I'm assuming I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's kind of what the bass. We're all kind of sharing gear. This is one of those everybody shares a drum kit. Everybody, you don't
Throw and go. Yeah.
throw and go. You don't have a lot of time to mess around.
yeah.
So you guys are going to use studio the stage monitors and just go. That's kind of what we're going to do as well.
Yeah.
Here the big one though is when you do Shyanne, when you play with Shyanne, is it backing tracks or no backing tracks live? I mean, there's a big controversy. Seems like.
Cheyenne is 100% live.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with backing tracks, supplemental backing tracks. It's one
Yeah.
thing if you're faking a part, but most people aren't doing that. They're supplementing just to thicken it up. But yeah, we're 100% live. We've got a
Yeah.
real keyboard
You
player.
got good
Everybody
singers in that
sings.
band. You got Mike on bass.
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
need.
we've got
for-
5 voices.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody in that band can sing, actually. Yeah, and I'm not just picking each, one guy.
Well, how long of a set? I mean, I know we're doing 30-minute sets at the showcase, but of original music, how long a show do you have?
Well, this will be we're doing our first full rehearsal on Monday,
Nice.
so hopefully by then we'll have a 30-minute set.
Right.
You
right.
guys will be
But-
fine. You're playing with good players.
yeah.
You got nothing to worry about.
I have like 2 albums worth of music,
Wow.
so probably close to an hour's worth of music.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting everybody to learn it.
I was looking back at your older stuff. It looks like you go back. I mean, I saw at least 2013, and you've got obviously stuff before that, right?
hmm
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I took down some of my old stuff just because it's looking back at your younger self. It gets a little cringy.
That's the stuff you got
Yeah.
kicked out of bands for.
yeah, right.
But yeah, so I've gone back and so I've got a full album coming out this Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what's the name
and
of that?
then it's NB23.
NB23, and is that going to be on Spotify? Where is that going to be posted?
It's gonna be on Bandcamp and then all streaming services.
Okay.
Do you have management, and who's booking you, or do you have any kind of
Help.
manager or
Any help.
Yeah, any help.
So far, it's just me
Yeah.
just trying to figure it out.
Well, so far it sounds like all you need is you.
Yeah. Right.
It wouldn't hurt to have some help.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do, but
Well, as good as you
Yeah.
sound, I don't think it's going to be an issue for you.
yeah, hoping once we get out there and just get our foot in some doors and maybe things will start turning.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the
We'll see.
reasons also that we wanted to do the podcast, so that we could meet bands like you guys. Maybe we can team up and we can, put like-minded people doing like-minded things in like-minded venues and try to, rekindle the fire of original music. Because, tell you the truth, it feels like to me if that we just continue down this path that of everybody's just learning cover tunes, nobody's going to take time to write the next great material that nobody's heard before because we're too busy doing other things. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I love playing covers. I have a blast. I get up there and sing some of my favorite songs with 500 people packed into a shitty bar, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
But there's something about if you get a handful of people to sing words that you wrote.
Yeah.
There's something special about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would love to see that
It's
grow
more
into
better.
something. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is more better.
Yes, for sure. Do you have a website where can people go to catch your Neil Blade Band's material?
I mean, I'm pretty much just on Facebook.
Okay.
I have plans to put together a website. I just haven't got to it yet.
Right.
But yeah, everything's on Facebook. I try to keep everything updated where you can find me and which band I'm playing with, which weekend, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, you're on Spotify too, because that's where we just played
Yeah,
you
I'm
from.
Spotify. Yep.
That seemed to have a good portion of your catalog there too.
Yeah. I think I've got two EPs and a single on there, maybe.
Yeah, so that's the thing. With you were talking about a little while ago. It's just me, and I don't know if people really understand that. This stuff here, when we get to use this stuff, this is when it's fun. That's the fun.
Yeah.
For me, that's when we're having the fun. But making a Facebook post to promote a show, to try to get people to come out and doing graphics and logos and all this kind of stuff, to some extent, there's some creativity in the graphics and that kind of stuff, but all the other stuff is difficult. And when it's just you trying to write it, record it, play it, book it, promote it, and you have a regular job, it's a lot more work than you ever seen those. I keep bringing up memes, but the memes that's like what my family thinks I do and what I really do. Nobody sees the behind the scenes of what it takes just to pull off a single show.
Oh, for sure. Luckily, I am self-employed, so I have a little more time than the average musician, but it feels like a full-time job just trying to get something out there.
Yeah, it is a full-time job for sure.
It easily could be, yeah. I mean, it's almost what you have to do if you want to make it, or to be even in any kind of a situation where you're in front of any kind of a substantial crowd.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unless you're single and really good. Yeah.
Well, what did they say? What's the joke about a musician? What do you call a musician?
Almost.
Yeah. How's that joke go? We all have heard it.
Well, there's plenty of musician jokes we could sit here and tell.
And that's the thing. It's like it's hard to, how do you recoup all the money that we spend on this passion hobby thing? Is it from doing live shows, selling merch? It's obviously not from record sales, seems like these days, because they just want you to give the music free. So how do you go about doing that?
Play covers.
Yeah,
right. It's either that or literally touring. I mean, you have to play live to make any money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
sell a ton of merch, or have some kind of a website where you have a following enough that people are going to go there and buy it.
Yeah, I have so little experience with the original side right now that it's going to be, it's going to take some figuring out.
Yeah.
If there's any money at all.
Right.
How to get that.
What did you say? You're 34?
32.
Oh, 32. All right, I'm 54, so I'm still trying to make it.
He's still trying to figure it out.
No,
So if you figure it out,
I'm trying to figure out how to quit playing.
yeah, let us know when you figure it out. And then when COVID, how did you deal with COVID, and how did you deal with COVID? Nobody was gigging. All you could do was either stay at home and write, or come up with something and create something. What did you end up doing during COVID?
Musically, I really just wrote. I actually was down with COVID for a week, and I released 2 songs that week.
Yeah, right.
Down with the sickness, was that one of them?
Yeah, down with the sickness.
Sorry, that was a terrible joke.
It was terrible. Hey, you're fired. And when you say you were down with COVID, was that back in 2020? Was it last week?
Yeah. It was 2021.
Okay, so you had the Delta.
I guess, whatever the hell it was. It was beginning of 2021.
It's the one 32-year-olds get.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucked, but I was still able to write and record 2 songs. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's what you had to do is, I'm not good sitting on idle hands. So,
no, not
at all. So I ended up getting extremely creative and busy, but what's after the music showcase? You have anything booked after that? Do you open for some dates there, or what's going on after?
Right now, nothing is on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Really just kind of getting through this show and just seeing how everybody feels and making sure, the lineup is solid and everybody wants to move forward with it. And then from there, I would love to find some more shows to jump on, some other bands to partner up with, and just get out there and get some reps in.
Yeah. And that's really what it's all about too, is we were talking about with another band the other night on the podcast, Drive 22, and they were talking about their recording process. They really try to, get the framework for the songs, go out, gig it a couple of times before they go into the studio to try to get it what I deem as like road tight. After you've played this, a set for a period of time, it's like, all right, I know what that guy's going to do. That part works. This doesn't work. But that was their kind of approach to going in the studio and recording. So yeah, let's all just use this, and we got to thank Scully Entertainment.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
for promoting this thing and putting it on. This is, I think, the 4th year. Hope's Anchor, we've played it, I think, 3 times. This will be our third or fourth, I don't know, but he does a great job trying to get and Curtis Clark at the 10 High for giving us a venue for a day. I mean, they're starting at noon, and it's going to go to midnight.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a really good night. Really good whole day of original music. So if you're into original music or seeing live bands, that's the place to be. Virginia Highlands 10 High. Final question. We're going to land this plane here. How do you think that we can grow and support original artists in the local area, other than kind of doing what we're doing here, trying to get you and us and everybody kind of out there to be heard, so that we can maybe get some crowds. But what do you think the best way going forward is to help support and grow the Atlanta original scene again?
I think this is a great idea. It's really all about networking and just supporting each other. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, for years there was always kind of a competitive. My band's better than your band and all that. I've been playing in Atlanta since '95, and for the most part, it's always been an original thing with a few covers scattered in. But we have to get back to networking together and helping each other, because that's the only way that we're going to kind of get back any kind of a scene on the original side.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is kind of a silly question because I think we all know the answer to this one, and we ask this to everybody. But if you're a pup still, in my opinion, I'm 54, so at 32, looking back on it, would you do it all over again? Would you know? And would you choose the path of being a musician? I mean, it's kind of. I feel like I could answer this for you, and I know what you're going to say. But would you do it again, or would you travel a different path? Because I don't know who your influences in your life are or were, but would you do it again? The same thing.
It was never really a choice.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah.
it, right? It's in the blood, is what you mean.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that makes me feel whole.
Yeah,
when I'm on stage.
Absolutely.
Or writing and recording, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of therapy. I kind of say the same thing. It's like I didn't choose to be a musician; it chose me.
Right.
I really don't have a choice. But what we didn't talk about was your T-shirt. And your T-shirt.
I talked about that T-shirt.
I mean, before we went on air, we talked
which
about
ones?
it. Yeah. But what was your very first memory of? What's your very first memory of like hearing something on a record and being like, "Oh my God, what is that? I want more of that. What is that?"
So there's like two really important moments. When I was a kid, I found my mom's copy of Def Leppard's Pyromania.
Nice.
And put it on.
Cassette or album?
It was a CD.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. That's
I was going to set him straight, but I let you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I put it in my little boombox, and all I had been listening to was Backstreet Boys and
what
that kind of shit. And
yeah,
I was probably
don't tell
10
people
years
that.
old. Hey, Backstreet Boys. Got
I'm just
hooks.
kidding you. Hey, they're talking about hooks, right?
We all have our guilty pleasure.
Yes, we do. And I'm
I
a
put
yacht
that
rock
in,
guy.
and
Hey.
Yeah, so I put that in, and then Rock Till You Drop hits, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is so cool.
And
and then after that was Metallica. When I was about 14,
which
I dug
album?
into Metallica. Kill 'Em All.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which song?
The Four Horsemen was probably my favorite at the time. I still think that's one of Kirk's best solos.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to just because you have the Kiss shirt on, I'm going to tell you this. My first concert was Kiss, and it was the Dynasty tour in 1979. My oldest sister, God rest her soul, took me for my 11th birthday. So I guess it was 1980. It's 79 going into 80.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget just sitting there halfway back, halfway up in an arena, looking down, and they all came up out of the floor with a different color on them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, okay, that's it right there.
Yeah.
So I got a guitar and learned how to play Smoke on the Water, and then
there you have
switched over to drums, and that was it.
Was Kiss an influence at all on you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which album?
Yeah,
which album of them?
That's impossible to answer. I mean, that's
a tough one, isn't it?
No.
I mean, the first album and Revenge are probably my two favorites.
Wow, Revenge.
Good call.
Wow, that's polar opposites, kind of.
Yeah.
But great.
I love that lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to say
I got to meet Gene and Paul when I was 14.
Wow,
that'll do it.
You're kidding me.
And I thought that was cool as hell.
Yeah,
well, because it was.
It was at the Kiss Coffee House in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah. We were there on vacation and just walked past it and saw the sign that said the grand opening was the next day, and Gene and Paul were going to be there signing autographs.
In makeup or no makeup?
So, no makeup.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they were only supposed to be there for about an hour and a half, but the line wrapped around the building. They stayed and signed autographs for like 6 hours.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and I just thought that was so cool. They were so nice to everybody. I waited in line for about 4 hours.
That's awesome.
And they were still just friendly, talkative.
Yeah.
I think that had a big impact on me for sure.
I've tour managed for Fozzy since 2016. I for the last year haven't been with them anymore, but Chris Jericho is really good friends with Paul. So I always thought, all right, I've met so many bands and got to hang out with people that it's just been surreal moment after surreal moment. So I've always thought, all right, I just can't wait until
you meet that
it's going to happen that one day where Paul's going to walk on the bus, because we've been nose to nose with Def Leppard, tour bus to tour bus. And, I've hung out with all these guys, and Paul's sent Chris he's got his own Puma shoes out that are
nice.
the most god-awful.
That's what we're missing, guys. Marketing.
Well,
we need a hot sauce. We need a tennis shoe.
Well, when you're somebody that's that huge, you can put out the ugliest pair of shoes on the planet and charge the outrageous price for them. But anyway, I always thought I was going to get to meet one of them. At least one of them. Yeah. And it never happened. But that's cool that you got to meet both
really
of those
cool.
guys.
And that's a cool place if anybody's ever in Myrtle Beach. I don't remember which shopping thing that it was at, but I went to the Kiss Coffee House and then the Pepper Palace that has the hottest salsa you'll ever have in your life. And but it's really good. But I want to get to my favorite Kiss album. It's very easy for me. It's Kiss Alive 1, the Alive record. Yeah. Kiss Alive 1 was when I heard the phasers and flangers or whatever they are on the drum solo and Peter. I was like, that was it.
I couldn't stop staring at the album cover alone.
I know, right?
I sat there for hours looking at it.
Yep. Well, Neil, thank you for coming on. We look forward to the show March 12th.
Yeah.
9:50 p.m., 10 high. The Neil Blade Project's going to hit the stage, and I look forward to it. I'll be there for sure. And then we'll talk down there at the show. We'll see you down there.
Yeah, I'll be there all day hanging out, checking everybody out. So I'm excited.
Yep. Looking forward to it, brother.
All right, man. Well, we'll catch you down there, and thank you again, Scully and Curtis Clark for doing the show, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
You're watching the Original Music Atlanta podcast.